up, guys? It is Cameron Talks Football. In today's video, I'm going to be interviewing USFL Generals linebacker slash edge rusher Bryson Young. Welcome, Bryson Young, for the third time. And this time he's in the USFL and he's trying to make it back, and I believe he will. All right,
Yeah.
so Bryson, as you know that you were drafted in the pretty early round or pretty early in the draft, how did they actually get a hold of you? I know it's like with the NFL draft, they like have your number. Is it like the same thing with that, or did they had a contact with you the whole time?
Yeah, so it's really different from the NFL actually. So there's actually a whole process that goes into it, into being able to be eligible to get drafted. Um First, I mean, my agent um first brought up the USFL to me. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
Then he kind of explained it to me, spring league, um, held here in Alabama. And so if I'm interested, which I was absolutely,
Of course, yeah.
he would he would send out, it's like an application. And if not everyone gets the application back, um, it's kind of a weird process. There were obviously thousands of guys trying to get into the USFL.
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate to even have the opportunity to be eligible to get drafted. you know, so once you're eligible to get drafted, that doesn't guarantee you get
Yeah, you
drafted.
still have
So
to
you
like
just
go out for training camp and all that. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I was just kind of training and just kind of waiting for the draft, which was February 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, something
Um,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So and it was the rounds, the way they were set up in the draft was different. So the first round was only quarterbacks. So quarterbacks got drafted first. And then
Okay.
after that, it um it it was, I think it went edge rushers and linebackers.
Okay.
And then from there it just branched off into other positions. So I got drafted pretty quick. I was not that I was surprised, but I was like, oh wow, okay. And then it was everything was started rolling pretty fast.
So you would say that the USFL is like somewhere in between college and NFL level? Is something that you would probably something like that around that area, a little bit
Well,
past college.
definitely past college because a lot of these guys, uh, some of them I was actually teammates with when I was in Atlanta on the Falcons.
Okay.
I met a couple guys from Arizona when I was with the Cardinals last year. Some guys were in the Canadian Football League. So there's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of older dudes that spent some years in the league in the NFL and are here now. So it's definitely still definitely not college. Definitely not college.
So it seems
Um,
like it's just like little bits of people from all pretty much around the
yeah.
world in the
Yep.
United States just into it's pretty
Yep.
much like another melting pot, just like the
Ex-
NFL.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Just guys just eager to play again and trying to get to that ultimate level, which is the NFL.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was able to see some of the highlights of the first game, and it seems like across the whole USFL that there are some struggles, and I believe the most biggest struggle is the kicking game, and I believe you have seen that fairly certain that it's something that they
Yeah.
should probably fix. But honestly, I think it's the defenses that have been playing great, and I've seen that your team has been playing great and some other teams. But what do you think sets your team apart from the other teams?
Oh man, I mean, defensively, I mean, all the guys on our defense, like I love these dudes. Like they're legit. I mean, for we've only been here for a month.
Yeah.
So to learn a whole playbook in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, remind you, this was our game 2 nights ago. That was week two. So um, our first game was we were only here for 3.5 weeks. So to come together, learn the playbook, and then learn how to play with each other and play well with each other. It's pretty amazing. So these guys are solid. We're only getting better each week.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, I feel comfortable with the team we have. So it's fun. It's fun for sure.
yeah, it seems like everyone is having fun out there. It seems like definitely on the first play of the first game, that was definitely a surprise with that big pass.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
hopefully, I like in the next game, I'm gonna try and watch that. And hopefully, you do get a sack. I'm gonna definitely be excited for that. I have been
Yeah,
with you throughout this whole journey when you went to the Falcons, to the Cardinals, and now to the
yeah,
USFL. So I'm gonna be riding you all the way to the NFL, hopefully. And if you make a team, I will get your jersey. That is for sure.
yeah.
But
Thanks, bro.
in like training, is it like broken up like NFL, like where it's just like position groups, or is it mainly like defense one and offense one? Like how much do you guys do like full offense and versus full defense? Is it not
In
that often because you don't want
in
to
pr- in, in
increase?
practice,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, it's almost immediate. We're going against each other because time is pretty limited here. So we have to kind of mesh everything together pretty quickly. So there's a lot of offense versus defense. I would say probably like 90% of the time. So it's a lot. So yeah, it's a lot of offense ones on ones. I mean, there's really no backups anyways. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
So other than yourself, you would say that yourself is a pretty good edge rusher. Other than yourself, who do you think on that defense is someone that people should look out for, and a big name player that do you think will make some big splash plays in this upcoming season?
Oh, definitely not to be biased, but the whole D line. There's not one person. It's the entire defensive line. It's like whoever's next to me, it's like you're confident, you're comfortable. It's like, oh yeah. So one of us is getting to the quarterback or a TFL or something's happening. The line of scrimmage will not be moved against us. So it's that whole D line. I can't single out a person at all.
Okay,
Like
and you would
it's
say that your last
yeah.
game did really come down to the wire, correct? That
Oh
was
yeah, yeah. That was
I definitely did see that last drive, and it did seem like you guys were definitely getting pressure. And I could tell you where you were always, because you're always number 56, right? You're
yep.
always it seemed like you were always on the far right side. It seems like that's the side that you're most comfortable with. Is there a reason why you're more comfortable with the right side than the left side?
Honestly, I'm more comfortable with the left side, but I just have to be for matchup purposes. I was just on the right side against their left tackle. That's kind of how we schemed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no. I could be on any side really. I'm actually more comfortable on the left side, which is kind of funny, but yeah.
So you would say that you're also like you're a team player, and if the coaches asked you to drop down in coverage, you would be okay with that. How well do
Oh,
you think you
absolutely.
would be able to perform at drop down coverage? Because I know you feel you're more comfortable with pass rushing. Do you think you're going to be working on your dropping in coverage so that you could show the coaches that you could be a hybrid type defensive player?
Oh, I could absolutely drop in the coverage, no problem. Honestly, it's I actually in I actually do that a lot more in practice in the games for sure. Because in college at Oregon, especially my senior year, I dropped in coverage at least 65% of the time, which was kind of wild. That's why I didn't have that many sacks my last year at Oregon. Um, but yeah, I feel super comfortable with coverage and the drops, so I can definitely do that, no problem, no problem.
So also with the USFL, it seems like I've been seeing these things. That's just one stadium. That's correct, right?
Yep,
And it seems
yep.
like you guys are all the USFL is definitely probably going to be soon. It's going to be expensive if they don't get what is it, more stadiums. And you guys all play in the same stadium. It's all pretty much back-to-back games. How would you
Yep.
feel when probably later down the road, if this USFL does work out, you guys getting your own stadium and finally be able to do that again in front of a home crowd?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, it would be nice to have fans cheering for you, because here in Birmingham, the home team, is the Birmingham Stallions, and for their games, it's always a ton of fans for their games. So it's always really a road game for the other teams here if you're playing against them. So it would be nice to have your own fans behind you for sure.
Yeah, because how many teams are there in the USFL? It's about 8, right?
Yeah, 8 teams. Yep.
And do you think that if this does work out, the USFL, do you think they're gonna try and branch out to other states like California, like Texas, like teams, like players, or places that have like big name places and a lot of players that could be there and a lot of money, of course. Do you think that could happen if this does work out in the first couple of years of the USFL?
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. That would be great. That would be great if because I think it's a great idea. I mean, to have football in spring. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so
that's
that
that's
there's
awesome.
so that all those football lovers can always have something to watch about football.
Exactly, exactly. So I really hope it really it turns into something big because that would be great. That would be great.
Is there anything that I probably don't know that I should know about the USFL that a lot of people probably don't know?
Um, hmm, well, I guess it's important to know that it's not in terms of the roster. It's not like a traditional in the NFL. You have a
Union
53-man
roster.
roster,
Yeah.
which means you have you have backups. Here, there's there's really no backups. You have like for D line, we have 7 guys. So when you have 4 guys in, there's you have to rotate it. So if one person goes down, it's really you have to be ready to play multiple positions. That's with every position. A receiver goes down, that's like then you're only left with like 3 receivers. Um, that means a lot of guys are on special teams. Like me, I'm always on special teams, which I'm fine with. I've always been
Yeah,
on special teams.
that's how you get your name out there and get the coaches to
Exactly.
trust you more. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So personally, I love special teams,
That
but
that's
you
that's how
always.
I felt wasn't able to get on the field more in my high school days. I was
Hmm.
just long snapping. Definitely didn't like
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
in middle school, but then realized in high school that
Yeah.
it's a way that I could start. So definitely
Yeah.
special teams is a way to get your coaches to look your way more.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And that's honestly, I feel like that's. I don't want to say it's underlooked by fans for the USFL, but special teams is so huge here because, for example, on the kickoff, you start 10 yards back. You're kicking off from the 25-yard line, so like 98% of kicks are going to be returned. Um, and that's it's and offenses are starting at like the 30 and 40-yard line as opposed to like the 20-yard line or 15-yard line.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's,
something I have
it's
noticed is that there are a lot of
yeah,
kickoff return touchdowns this year, which is something that probably will be fixed like on the special team side, but it is definitely entertaining to
yeah,
watch, but soon it will be
yeah,
fixed. I
yeah,
think
and that's
soon
why
they
they
should push it up though, because that's gonna
yeah,
already give the offense a big
yeah,
advantage and the defense at a big disadvantage because pretty much if a team has a good
yeah,
kicker, all they need is like about 30 yards in their field goal range every time. So
right,
that's kind of
right.
overpowered and unfair for the other team, as you would
Oh
say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But they might not. Honestly, they did that for the fan experience
Yeah.
because nobody really likes to see kickoff going to the end zone. It's a touchback. They want to
Yeah.
see like a touchdown.
Yeah. That's what my
Um,
dad always says that the touchback
yeah,
is like the kickoff is useless, but the
yeah,
USFL, he'd probably like that part
yeah.
because there's pretty much always a return. And I don't think
Always.
there's like no kicker yet that would probably be able to bomb that.
Yeah, if you could bomb that, then you're an amazing kicker
And
because that's far.
you're probably in the wrong
Yeah,
league for right now. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like since you are saying that there's like no like the depth at each position, do they have you like as a reserve for like defensive tackle, linebacker, and all that stuff? You would
Oh,
say
we
you have to
got to
learn
know
multiple
everything.
positions.
Yep, and honestly, that's how it should be. Anyways, you should know how each position works. The better you know the defense, the better you'll play. The more versatile you'll be. So that's something you should do anyways, just to know all the other positions. That's something I've kind of always taught myself because you never know. But here, especially, you have to know because one guy goes down, 2 guys go down. You never know. Even if guys don't go down, if the team is going tempo, guys get tired, especially the heavier guys inside. So when it comes down to like close games like we had the other night, we
Yeah.
had to bring in a linebacker who's smaller, and we put him on the edge just to rush, right? Just rush, because some of the other guys they had to get inhalers, like they're gassed. So yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. So you have to know everything.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely is more fast paced and everyone is playing to their hardest because it's not like the NFL where they're playing to like keep their contracts in this league. They're playing to go to the next step, which is the
Yeah.
NFL. And you can tell that they're playing every rep at 100%. And that
Yeah.
is something that is like just like in college, they're playing 100% to go to the NFL. And in this, they're playing 100% to get that second chance. And you could tell with your team that after that first loss, that you could tell that you guys wanted more. And in that second game, you guys did get that
Oh yeah.
with the victory. How did that feel for you guys to get that victory after losing on the opening day of the USFL?
Oh yeah, it makes it way more fun. Losing is never fun, no matter what level you're at. So winning is just it makes it way so much more fun. And you work hard all week, so it's all it's you don't want to lose ever. So especially that first game, when we felt like we definitely had it, but you just got to finish. So that's the big thing we're emphasizing is just finishing. Once you come in at halftime, just forget about the whole first half. No matter what you did, just come out and play the best second half you can do. So
Yeah.
but,
So like you would say that it's pretty much just like nonstop. Everyone just like everyone's playing as one more than like in the college or NFL level because everyone has the same goal in mind. Of course, in every
mhm.
level, but in this league, they're pretty much playing to get that another chance, like you said,
Yeah,
and that makes
yeah,
everyone like come together more and help each other out more because they want to see everyone else succeed, not just them, but everyone else on the team.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, and I feel like it's the passion here is in a way stronger than anywhere I've been before because there's got everyone here has a story of getting released, not getting that opportunity. We've all kind of had that same background. So like to bring that together and we all feel the same way and we're all trying to reach the same goal. I mean, that makes us, you know, bond like, that's a powerful connection. So yeah, everyone's here for the same goal. So that's why everyone is, really taking it seriously because you want to win because I mean, who's going to be looking at the losing teams?
Yeah.
You want to, yeah. So if you're winning, there's going to be more eyes on you. And
So since there
uh,
are not that many teams, is there like, do you know if there's a playoffs and all that stuff? Is there playoffs and how many teams do make it? Is it every team makes
yeah,
it or?
so I believe there's one playoff game and then there's a championship game. The championship game takes place July 3rd. So that's like the last day we would be here. So there's not much room for error. So yeah, it
Yeah,
almost
that's what
feels
it
like
seems like with a lot of
yeah,
sports. One loss drops you down pretty far. That's like college,
like college again.
college football. One loss
Exactly.
drops you down so far, especially if you're
Yeah.
in like a Power 10 school. So that's
Yeah.
why you see Alabama and schools like that constantly winning. They don't care about the points; they just care about winning
Yeah.
because winning
Yeah.
keeps you in the first seed.
Yeah. And there's probably going to be a lot of tiebreaker situations. So it also there's only 8 teams, so it might come down to all right, how many points did this team score against this team?
Yeah.
So that's also important as well. So as a defense, we want to have them score as little as possible to help us out.
Is that how
Because you
that
never know.
goes? If there is a tiebreaker, it does come down to how many points a team has scored
Yeah,
to.
it's already kind of happened because there's divisions like a North South division. They ranked us, even though we lost last week or week one. They ranked us after week one first in the North because other teams performed a certain way with a certain amount of points.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it's already kind of shaping up that way. So it's pretty interesting.
So you would say that like you pretty much how do you like what do you feel is different from like every division that you've played? You played in the college, you played in NFL, and now you played in USFL. What do you feel is different from the USFL to all the other places that you have played in?
Yeah, I mean, I relate more to everyone here because everyone here has kind of been in the same situation. We always talk about, like tryouts we've gone to, we've done well, but something happens where we don't get signed and then we're back home on the couch. Like I've never really had that in college. In college, you're just, you have 4 years. If you could redshirt, there's so much time and there's so much like, you're comfortable. and you're just kind of enjoying the college experience. Whereas in the pros, it's like you don't know.
Yeah.
NFL, it's like you could be gone the next day. Here, it's the same way, but you have a stronger connection with everyone around you. So I would believe, I would say that's the biggest thing is everyone here has like the same exact reasoning for being here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's never too out of sight for the final destination, which is the NFL. And
Yeah.
how many years are you able to be in the USFL before you pretty much can't be there anymore? Do you know, or
I don't know if there's a limit, but I know it's a 2-year deal, but you can get pulled. Like NFL team can take you at any time. So if
yeah.
NFL team calls you, then then you can leave for sure. But I know it's a 2-year deal to start off, and then
Yeah, and
uh,
you pretty much hope for that for anyone, but main first for yourself, and then after that for your teammates, which you do want to see all your teammates succeed. But I'm pretty
yeah,
sure you want to give yourself that next chance, which is the NFL.
yeah.
And if there is teams watching, what do you think that you should show them after this season? Because I know it's like pretty early in the season for them to give you a chance, but later in the season, what do you think is going to be the thing that stands you out from all the other edge rushers in this division?
Oh, you just have to. You just, I mean, sacks definitely is the biggest thing, but I mean, your effort. I mean, on everything because they look at everything. Um, so and just your technique, even how you set it, how you play in the run game, how you set an edge, how you play blocks. All of those things are very important. So just I try to stay consistent with all of those things. The only thing here in this league is it's not something you can't ever use it as an excuse ever, but you might see it, as a fan. Holding calls are non-existent, so sometimes it can be not as yeah, for offensive tackles they have more leniency with
Yeah,
blocking.
I have
So
seen
it's
it. I have seen a clip of one of your teammates getting a big hit, and in the background, it was you getting held pretty badly, and
oh
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's getting
yeah.
held
So
here.
it's
So
yeah, so it's but that helps. That helps me a lot. I use that to my advantage because it's like, okay, how can I get off this? I look at it in film. Okay, if I can get off of this, then at any other level where holding is like serious, I mean you're pretty much unblockable because if you can get
yeah,
off blocks here, then you'll be fine anywhere else. So I'm kind of using that to my advantage. So yeah, it all works out.
yeah, and if you do perform at any position that you are playing, special teams, linebacker, you're just hoping to get your foot in the door, which seems like you can do it because if you play special teams well, teams will take your that chance on you, and then if you play special teams, you can go back to defense. But is
Yeah.
there anything you would like to say to everyone watching before we do close out, like one final long statement or anything about that? Or about yourself
Yeah.
in the USFL?
Yeah. No, it's just really just enjoy watching it because I mean a lot of people kind of look down on any spring league or anything that's not the NFL.
Yeah,
And I understand that because I was kind of the same way growing up. But once since I've been here and I've been around, these guys are these guys are pro athletes, just like in the NFL. And just because they're not, household names, these dudes are pretty legit, and it can be really fun to watch if all you got to do is turn on TV, and I promise you'll have a good time. So um, don't. It's hard for leagues like this to um, to have full trust in it because a lot of them, like the XFL, things like that, have failed in the past. So a lot of people are probably like, I don't really want to watch that. But I promise you, if you watch it, you're gonna have fun, even if you don't know anybody. It's still pretty fun to watch. It's pretty entertaining. Um, and you'll learn a lot of stories about guys you never heard about that are pretty remarkable. Um, so yeah, definitely just have fun watching it.
so if you
Yeah,
guys are fans of the NFL, or if you guys are football fans, you guys should give this a chance. Just give it like 2 weeks. If you guys don't like it, then then don't watch it. But it's all that takes is pretty much 2 weeks because it's nonstop action. These people are playing their hearts out for another chance in the NFL, like Bryson Young. But I would like to say thank you for everyone watching, especially Bryson for coming on for a third time to tell us about the USFL and hopefully bring some people to the USFL General fan base. I already know I am since day one, since he joined the team, but hopefully now more people will be fans of the team. And until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.